Hey guys, and welcome to Heroes on the Horizon.
That was weak, Levi.
Not great.
You're just here to harass me.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Pitiful.
I was just being conversational. I was being friendly to our listeners because they, you know what?
What listeners?
Yeah, no one cares, Levi.
Don't ask that question. You gain listeners slowly by being friendly to them. Okay, what up? It's Heroes on the Horizon. We don't care about you.
This is already a train wreck, guys.
We should not have let Levi lead.
You did this, Charlie.
It's Heroes on the Horizon, guys, broadcasting live from the beautiful, scenic, goose-filled campus of Indiana University Southeast.
The
How are you doing
overcast,
today?
cold, gross, goose-filled campus.
It's mating season. It's getting scary outside.
Oh,
As
my
Levi
goodness.
would know. I mean, Charlie, I don't know who you are. Never mind.
Why do I know if it's mating season?
Well, you can tell by their behaviors. They're pairing off and they're honking and stuff, and...
No, Charlie would know because he got attacked by one.
That was last year. We're not going to talk about that. Well, I'm back, guys.
should
It's
talk
Charlie. And who else is back?
Levi?
That's right. Can you sound more confidently? Like, are you sure you're Levi?
I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Levi?
Did I go anywhere? I've been
know.
in this room the whole time.
It's a Levi
He's
clone.
missed all of his classes. He hasn't seen his
True.
family in a few weeks.
I've been just crying in the corner.
Get back in the corner. Anyway, but like we said today, guys, as I promised, we have a special guest, the raddest person on the earth.
Woo, I'm Mary Glisson. I'm the raddest person ever. in
Tell
case
us about
you didn't-
yourself, Mary.
Oh, well, I'm not super interesting. I'm in high school, so sorry, college radio listeners.
Get out.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's
but
illegal
yeah.
for you to be
and
here.
over in the corner is her dad, Patrick. Hey. Oh, your mic's not on. It's all good. We heard it, though.
We know he's here.
He said hey.
We're doing our best. But yeah, thanks for coming on, guys. Levi, want to mention the social media?
Oh, yeah. So we have a Twitter and an Instagram and a YouTube page that we should probably also mention. We always
I
forget
put it
to.
on our Twitter, though, all the time. Like, hey, here's our videos. You can watch it if you
So
want.
follow our Twitter and then go to the YouTube channel. You can go and watch the old episodes on there.
Or listen. It's not what's going on the screen.
I mean, you can watch it and just stare into the emptiness.
Oh, you guys should put slideshows of just you two sitting there talking in the radio.
Like,
smiling
hey,
awkwardly
hey,
at the camera.
Hey.
I would do that.
It'd be
We
pretty
should
great.
just record our things sometimes, like just get a big video camera, record ourselves, and
But
Put a video camera here.
I am gonna make like a really cool.
that's a security camera, Patrick.
We steal the security camera footage.
I am gonna just go to the campus police. We need that security camera footage.
We need that footage.
It's vitally important. Our listeners need it.
I am gonna make a cool title card thing that will go on the videos.
That's
eventually.
exciting.
It's gonna be now that my computer's working again. I can do it, and I've got some ideas. But anyway,
Finally.
so our Twitter is @on_heroes, and our Instagram is heroes_on_the_horizon.
Lots of underscores.
Very easy to remember. Just replace spaces with underscores. It's yeah.
I was a slippery slope
This
when I
is-
made that. I wasn't
This is
thinking.
Charlie's
It's
fault.
okay.
I just type it out and put spaces, and then I post. I was like, oh no, that's
You could have
big.
done any other thing. It could have been like a period or a dash.
You
or
could have just made it one big word.
One big word, but you chose underscores.
I could have picked a
so
better
we
name
had
for the
to
show.
Spell it
yeah,
all out.
that too.
So that's
No,
not.
I think the
our-
name is
our
a
name's
good.
actually great, Mary.
The name is really good.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a show
the manager
about.
loves it.
This is a show about comic books and superheroes and
It
so
is?
on.
Really?
So just in case
I
you
thought
guys
the
didn't
Heroes
know
was
that.
a sandwich.
This is surreal. Euros. Hey.
Euros on the
Oh,
horizon.
man. We're never going to get on topic, are we?
We're talking
Never.
about. We're here to talk
Oh,
about.
gosh.
There are different kinds of gyros. There's turkey gyros. There's lamb and beef gyros, the original kind.
Listen,
Then
we know
there's
you worked at
also-
Arby's, Levi. Don't need to rub it in our face.
we don't care.
Are there vegan Euros?
I mean, I'm sure they exist.
Are there vegetarian ones?
Is that the same
No.
thing?
It's different.
Slightly different.
There-
Vegans don't do anything from animals.
They're-
Vegetarians
they're-
just don't do meat.
I mean, vegan gyros would automatically also be vegetarian gyros, but I'm going to say that there are no vegetarian gyros, only vegan gyros.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
What are we
Anyway.
talking about today?
I have no
yeah.
idea.
We're
So,
talking about
anyway,
Daredevil.
Woo.
Enough
said
about the sandwiches. We're going to talk about the superhero called Daredevil today. The masked man without fear. The swashbuckling.
Does he
Swashbuckling.
swashbuckle?
Sightless swashbuckler.
I mean,
Okay,
he
in the
kind of does have like a thing that's like got a little sword.
What?
It does not have a sword.
Blade. It's got
So
like a
Levi's
blade,
research, guys, was just the Daredevil movies, Ben Affleck. So
No,
bear with
He knows
him.
nothing.
There's
He knows
he's got
Edge.
he's got like it's like a thing that
It's
you
a
can,
blind man's cane
but-
that turns into like a...
Yeah, but
what
A
is
billy
it
club?
called? Yeah, a
Blades in
billy
it.
club.
There
There
is-
are no blades in it.
Yes, there are because it stabbed through the guy.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Okay, we're going right on topic. So,
I was actually wondering about that because I was like,
he
how
threw
could
a club and
I think he
impaled
just,
a person.
I
don't
think he
that's
just
how it
supposed
works.
to like throw it really hard, but then it ended up like just impaling her because
No,
that's
but
how it happens.
Remember during the scene where the reporter guy had his
Oh, you
club?
mean a grappling hook?
Yeah, but it also had
It's
like
just not the same thing.
I think that's how it stabbed through is because it has like the sharp edges on it or something. I don't know.
It was a weird movie.
You know, we
We'll
shouldn't
get
trust
to that
movie.
eventually.
I was trying to figure it out, okay? But no, I figured
We'll have
that
an
it had
episode
to.
on it.
It had to be like something that
How
was
the
some
heck?
sort of weapon other than just as a billy club because it was able to impale through someone. That was my theory on
Why would
it.
that be a feature? I don't know. Daredevil's
Because just
weird.
I mean, Bullseye is powerful, but he's not that powerful that he can like use a club.
blunt object.
Okay,
blunt
it
object.
does have a case-hardened steel grappling hook. You weren't wrong. Never mind.
Yeah.
If
Thank
we
you.
check the Googles.
Wow. Dang, case hardened. Okay.
I feel like that was how it was able to stab, though.
But the thing is, Bullseye threw it just like straight on. He didn't like open it up or anything because he didn't know how to work.
To be
I don't
fair, a lot of that movie doesn't make sense.
Yeah, do
like,
not watch Daredevil the
No,
movie.
watch it. It's amazing.
Please don't.
It's
Like when they
the best
jump,
thing I've
they
ever
jump
seen.
like 30 feet in the air,
know.
and like he doesn't have
It
superpowers.
is so good in
Like
the
why
worst
was
way.
why was Elektra able to jump like 20 feet up? Like
Because comic books.
it didn't make sense.
It was amazing.
Anyway, let's get back on topic here.
This is on topic.
So-
this is exactly
We're talking
what
about
we're
Daredevil.
talking
Yeah,
about.
but who is Daredevil? What if our listeners don't know?
He's Matt Murdock. There, they know.
Tell me more, Mary.
Oh darn. Well, he's
Tell me more. Tell me
He's
more.
blind because he was blinded in a childhood accident where he tried to save someone who was walking across the road, but then he pushed him out of the way of a truck that was carrying a bunch of radioactive material, and then Matt got all the radioactive material all up in his eyes.
You know, that is so interesting because I was like watching the movie and I was like,
They
is
did
this
not
the
explain
original
it.
way? Is this the original way that this happened? Because it was so lame. He's just like walking along and the forklift like stabs the
No,
chemicals.
that is not
he
what happened.
actually had some sort of heroism. Okay.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wasn't
See,
running
that's so
away
much
from his
cooler.
dad or anything. He was actually
No,
helping someone.
He was legit just he wasn't even running anymore. He was just walking, if I recall.
He was just chilling out.
Yeah.
Then, oh no, a guy with a bad forklift license.
Yeah.
Just
That's what
Also,
the movie is really about, the forklift
They're
guy.
handling like really dangerous radioactive material, and they're just like, oopsie doopsie.
well, it was the early 2000s.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Things haven't changed that much since then.
I think actually in the comics at one point they went down a rabbit hole and decided that the people in the truck and the radioactive material was actually from Danny Rand's company. So like Danny Rand blinded Matt Murdock.
Oh, Danny
Wait.
Rand's Iron
Whoa.
Fist, right?
Yeah,
Ah,
I think it was either that or Stark Industries because they're like the two rich people.
right.
I don't. Stark doesn't use.
Yeah, but this was
radioactive, does he?
before
He has a
Tony
business.
Stark was
Oh,
in charge.
I'm sure he doesn't put like chemicals into his suit. Like, let me load up the suit with diesel right here, guys.
Oh, imagine that. He
It's
like
got a fuel efficiency of F.
he runs the Iron Man suit on a 2-stroke, and he has to like, pull strength.
Gotta gun it, guys. It's like an exhaust come off everywhere.
That would be amazing. I want to see that Iron Man.
It's actually coal powered.
Oh my god.
gosh,
One of his
mentioned-
best superpowers is just giving people bad smoke.
He's the main
Okay.
cause for the ozone layer
I
disappearing.
need to see the multiverse do this with Iron Man now. Like, just different, like, Iron Man suits run on different power sources.
I would love this.
One is literally just a lawnmower.
He mows the lawn as he
Gets
walks.
all his fuel from Home Depot.
But his, like, main weapon is actually the blades underneath the lawnmower.
It's a very violent comic.
That would not go well.
I would read this. So
Incredible.
Oh my gosh, I love this. But yeah, so Matt Murdock was this boy who got blinded. But the crazy thing is, when he got blinded, that chemicals also enhanced his senses like tenfold. Like he can see things better. Not, well, he can't see.
He
That's
can
a lie.
actually see.
He can see. He can
He
like
has radar vision.
he
This
can-
is my second question.
What?
The movie doesn't explain this. Are the chemicals the result of his powers, or is it just his blindness that's the result
I think
that
it's
causes his powers?
maybe a mixture.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture. of
Because
the
people
two.
who are blind do have like more enhanced senses, but not
Yeah.
like echolocation. Now some people do have echolocation or are blind. They can click and like navigate. It's really cool.
His
I'm a
is like
psychology
super
major.
intense.
Yeah, he can like hear something and like he can see pictures.
Yeah,
and
he can like see the whole building.
Also, all of the scenes where Daredevil, you're like looking through his vision.
Those
it's
are
like,
bad scenes.
I swear, I was gonna get epilepsy or something.
Did they ever
It
do
was
that
so-
in the TV show?
Okay, I have a rant about that, so we can get that to that later.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
I do want to say though that I think it's cool that his powers don't come from what I'd say the majority of other superheroes in the MCU, or not cinematic universe, just the MU, I guess you would call it.
The Moo.
The Moo.
The Moo.
They all, a lot of the superheroes kind of, their origins kind of come from the same place.
What's that?
Like the whole energy source thing, the blue
What?
square.
The Tesseract?
The Tesseract?
That is
like
not
it
at
all
all.
kind
No,
of like
that's
came.
not true.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
it did.
Give one example.
I can't remember now.
So
but
you're
You're
like,
talking about you're talking about the MCU. Maybe
Yeah,
yes, not
they-
the
they,
comics
like,
though.
the
Not really.
Comics, no.
yeah, they okay, I guess I am talking about the MCU then. They explain all of like most of the superheroes' superpowers through this Tesseract thing in the MCU, right?
They just
And
explained Steve Rogers' powers through that.
No, I remember.
Or wait,
it
no,
was
not
like
even
a-
his. They explained
Quicksilver
no
and Scarlet
one.
Witch.
No, they also had
Oh, yeah.
they had
And
Iron
Vision.
Man's powers. They had like
What?
all these different ones. because
Vision got his powers from the stone.
there were like a bunch of different. Okay, I'm gonna have to.
You're not making any sense.
before
No, your theory's
before I
debunked.
keep going, I'm just
Thank
gonna
you, Patrick.
say that I remember something about this, and it was like
You're not
something
remembering
about
it
how
well.
everything was connected, and I'm just gonna leave it at that and look into it before I keep talking.
I feel like most heroes get their powers through like bad science experiments.
Yeah, this is basically how
Like
everyone gets
the
their
original
powers.
Flash got his powers while taking a smoke break and inhaling hard water vapors.
Yeah.
He became super fast.
I don't know where I remember this from. I just remember that like they tried to make them connect somehow, and
Well,
I think they
that's dumb,
actually
and they
changed.
shouldn't have done that because that's lazy writing.
I can't.
Also, that for real just didn't happen.
I remember
It didn't
but-
happen.
But anyway, so his senses are enhanced. He has better hearing. He can smell better. I'm assuming he can taste better, which I think
Yeah,
is a cool
because
idea.
sometimes in the comics he'll eat something and he'll know every single ingredient in it, so it's like
Love that.
boom.
I would market that skill more often. Like
He
become
could
like
be
a
an
critic.
insane chef.
Food critic. Imagine.
Oh my gosh, Matt Murdock has so many career options.
He's wasting on beating
I
people up.
know.
In the movie, I remember just thinking to myself how overwhelming all of his senses must be, and they like talked about it for all of 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he's overwhelmed, and then his dad walks in, and he's like, I'm blind.
He's the angsty teen.
For a sec, you were just like cowering in the corner because you could hear a semi truck from 2 miles away, and now you're just like, oh, I'm blind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, when Daredevil's not crime-fighting vigilante by night, he is actually also a lawyer, which is kind of a pun because Stanley Mann is
Yeah.
like that. Because like, law is blind. Things like
You mean
there's a-
Justice is
Justice
blind?
is blind. I just had a brain fart right there. I don't know. I was like,
Oh, wow.
I was doing so good. The train wreck.
I just feel
Oh,
good
my.
because you said something wrong after I said something
Ooh,
wrong.
it's
Mine
my
was
turn next.
not as wrong.
Let me have
The
this.
law is blind. Well, yeah. So Daredevil was also created in 1964 by Stan Lee and Bill Everett. Stan Lee, rest in peace. Love
Stan
you.
the man.
It's really cool that he can like figure out who's lying during a court case, but
Oh, yeah, it's
but then
pretty
he has to
intense.
prove it. He has to prove
Yeah,
that he's
'cause you're
right.
like, oh, I can hear their heartbeat. You
The
know?
judge would be like,
unless unless they have a
Pacemaker.
yeah, that thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
But
Yeah.
and then he's like, oh no.
Oh my.
I love how after establishing that that's a thing that he can do, they just go, oh, but sometimes it doesn't work.
It's like,
in the
well,
one
we
time
just
that it
immediately
matters.
debunked his power.
Yeah, basically. But
It's
whatever.
kind of nice that in comics he uses it a lot. Like in Daredevil Born Again, he meets his apparent mom. And he's like, "Are you my mom?" She's like, "No." Heartbeat suspicious. She's lying, just like that's my mama right there.
Like,
Wow.
there she is.
That's who she is. It's all good. But it's honestly, it was. Do you prefer? You read the Born Again comic?
Yeah,
right?
I have it.
Do you prefer the reveal for Born Again or from the TV show? Spoiler alert, by the way.
Well, I don't know. This TV show like adapted it pretty well, but like in the actual comic book, it was like way more, like 1,000 more times intense. So like if you like your heavy metal drama, read the graphic novel.
Reasonable.
That is generally the way I think it tends to be. I'd say that the comics tend to be really kind of more intense in general. 'Cause
Unless
they're
you're talking
not-
about the Daredevil movie.
Yeah. No.
Oh, well, the Daredevil movie was just being
Horrible.
frivolously edgy, which is why it's amazing. It's amazing because it's horrible.
Well, horrible edgy also just was the theme of the early 2000s.
Yes, I mean when
Thank
when
you,
they
Blade.
they actually used 2 Evanescence songs, if I recall, 2 of them.
I think they just played "Wake Me Up" a whole bunch, and it just all merged
They played
into one.
"Wake Me Up" like during a montage. They literally
Alexa,
played "Wake
setting
Me Up"
rings.
Oh, that
while
was so
she's
dumb.
like throwing around some knives and like cutting through sandbags.
They're called
But
size.
they also
Yeah, get it right, Levi.
the what?
They're size.
They're called size.
Get it together.
Watch Ninja Turtles sometimes. You
Come
know
on.
that.
I called them knife things. Anyway, but then they also played, during the funeral, they played another Evanescence song, which, by the way, has completely unrelated lyrics to a funeral. And it was just
that was
really
weird.
awkward, and it was hilarious. I'm just sitting there, like, I don't know how many times, it's like midnight, and I'm watching this movie, and I just laugh.
How often do you watch this movie?
No,
Levi's
how many
goes
times
like,
during
this
the...
is my one love in the
during
world.
during the
Let's go
movie, I
text
laugh.
Levi, let's hang out. I can't. I'm doing
watching Daredevil.
homework.
Like Matt Murdock's my real
No.
true love.
No, if
Gosh,
I...
Ryan, it's Ben Affleck's like chin in the movie.
Just his chin, yeah.
Just the chin.
I worship it
He's got
every
a
morning.
he's got a bladey thing. Sigh.
A knifey thing. I don't know.
He needs-
I actually sleep in my own
But yeah.
sensory deprivation chamber.
But yeah, just basically a coffin.
It's just a bunch
Wait,
of blankets.
Matt Murdock's
up.
actually a vampire.
Screens all of his calls from his girlfriend.
That was okay. I had a thought. Speaking of actually a vampire, if there was to be a crossover between Blade and another superhero, I think it should definitely be the 2000s movie Daredevil.
Absolutely.
It should be the 90s Blade and the 2000s Daredevil.
Absolutely.
Need to come
I mean,
together. and
they
fight
both have a good
vampires.
amount of edginess.
Oh my gosh.
But Blade's better though.
It would
I
be
haven't actually
amazing.
seen Blade,
Ooh.
so
That's a treat right there.
yeah,
You need
It
to
would
watch
be-
Blade.
It would be so cool.
Levi loves it.
I'll get on that.
But yeah. So
and I just want to say that I think Daredevil has just as much potential for memes as Blade does.
Oh, he 100%
absolutely,
does.
but world's not ready for that though.
Yeah,
Like all the
Yeah.
faces that Kingpin made.
it was bad.
Oh my gosh. Like
Bullseye.
all the time that like, did you see the during the party, he like Kingpin like grabs that dude he ends up murdering. I'm sorry, spoiler.
Electra's father?
Yeah, Electra's
It's
father.
been nearly
I can't remember their
15
last
years.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
been
can't
a
remember
while.
their last name. It's hard to pronounce.
Nachios.
Nachos. It's like
Sounds
nachos.
like nachos. How is that
That's
hard
a
to
joke in the
pronounce?
movie made by Kevin Feige.
I missed that part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But anyway,
Kevin Feige
he
is
like,
actually the maker of MCU
he
now.
like reaches over to him from behind the curtain, and I can just it looks like just his hand reaching out, and the scene goes by so quick, like the frame goes by so quickly you barely notice it. But I think when they were filming it, here the guy that plays Kingpin,
Michael Clark Duncan.
yeah,
Great actor.
He's like,
How do you know
legit,
every actor from this movie?
He's iconic.
Oh.
He's
I
legit
watched this movie a lot as a
leaning
kid.
his whole arm out. Like no one, when they need to like tap someone on the shoulder from behind a
just like-
curtain, is like leaning their whole arm out. He just should walk out. But instead, he's like
He wants
legit.
to be ominous.
Like it was his whole.
more
I don't know.
edgy.
It was just so weird.
Say what you want, but Michael Clark Duncan was the best part of that
No,
movie.
it wasn't his fault. I think that it was just because the movie was just bad, and
I think
he had
they
to
just
work
put
with
the,
it.
I think he just put the chair too far out.
Yeah, they just put the chair too far, and he's like, ugh.
He's like, gotta throw my rose at him.
And that's why the editor just spends like only like a few milliseconds on that
They're like,
shot.
please, can we please cut the scene? He's like, no.
But
We cut enough scenes.
the entire movie is full of stuff like that. It's amazing.
It's a big oof.
with like Creed and Seether and Evanescence playing in the
And
background.
Chevelle.
And
Every
Chevelle.
Bullseye scene. What was
Oh.
the point of Bullseye?
Bullseye was so strange. Who?
Hated him.
Kills an old lady. I don't know why.
Much
Bullseye.
better in Daredevil.
How did he get
Netflix.
off of the plane?
I don't even
After
know.
killing an old lady on the plane,
It's-
secretly or not.
I think this is pre 9/11, so I think we're good.
No,
They just don't check the
but,
plane
like,
for dead
still,
bodies?
It's just like, oh, there's an old lady. I should definitely not keep the people
She's
who
on
are
a
sitting
round
right
trip
next
flight.
to
She's
her
going to cash it in
to
now.
see
Just
and make
having
sure
a
they
fun
aren't
time.
at fault for it.
Maybe she had a heart attack. I don't know. She was old. Maybe it's assumed she had a heart attack. Or
Maybe they're just like, oh, she's napping. We gotta
logically,
leave her.
with the Kingpin owning so much of the crime, he probably owns a little bit of the TSA, and he's just like, give Bullseye some slack. It was a Michael Clark Duncan voice. Anyway, can we actually talk about the comic now?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when Daredevil debuted, he was kind of like an inconsequential character. People really didn't care about him because it was
Yeah.
just like another
Also, the
guy.
comics in the 60s were kind of not great.
dumb.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have powers. He's like a Captain America where he's just enhanced.
Captain
a lot.
America. Yeah.
No, I have a
respect
bunch
that.
of the comics from the 60s, like in a big graphic novel, and basically he's just like hokey Batman from the 60s, but he can see things,
Like-
though he's blind.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not
like literally
surprised
it.
by that. I mean, that's actually wouldn't it be more accurate if Batman couldn't see things and was blind?
No, bats can see pretty well.
Yeah, they're fine.
I
Bats
thought
are
they
pretty-
used echolocation.
They just
Yeah, they also have great eyesight though.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a myth then that I fell into.
Yeah.
Don't stereotype bats, Levi.
Yeah, Levi, check
Get
yourself.
it.
I'm sorry,
Come
bats.
on.
Although the Louisville Bats, I'm
Yeah.
not sorry.
But he was really people really didn't read him until this other writer took over named Frank Miller. Frank Miller. There's too many Millers.
Oh my gosh.
They need
Frank
to stop
Miller.
building mills.
Right?
Ugh.
Gosh, those darn Dutch. And in doing that, he made Daredevil a lot more of a tragic character. Like a lot more bad things happen to Daredevil
Like
at that
every
point.
2 seconds.
Like every 2 seconds, something bad happens. So he changed the backstory to her, where Daredevil's father was more abusive. So his father was a boxer,
Yeah.
and he would throw fights for the Kingpin and stuff like that. That was in the movie.
No, he threw fights for the other dude that I forgot the name of.
In the movie, it was Kingpin though. Apparently.
Which was really weird because it was like a different guy in the movie. But except they still linked it back to Kingpin. But
Yeah.
they said it was
really
a
weird.
different guy. It was
It's
weird.
But he threw fights,
Unless
and
Kingpin completely changed his race and then like became really huge.
Like a white chick sort of thing.
No, like he was like I can't remember. I think the guy that in the movie was like a white skinny dude, but then for some reason they said it was Kingpin later. But
It
was a
Kingpin
different
is like a
Kingpin.
giant.
I don't think we need to
I think-
focus this much on
I
the
think
movie.
he was like an enforcer at the time for that guy. Then he rose up through the ranks
Yeah,
in the
that
years.
makes sense. It's funny how Kingpin kind of becomes different people depending upon the comics as well in the movies and stuff.
Well, Kingpin was originally a Spider-Man villain, and then they were
Yeah.
like, hey, you know who you'd be great with? Daredevil.
And it went great.
Well, didn't Daredevil collaborate with Spider-Man on?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
a lot. They're
Early-
like best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the I think it was like in the 70s, the writers started like putting them together, and they became like best buds. They're like, New York.
That's a
crime.
good. You know, that would be a good contrast because if they both well, Spider-Man's kind of stable. He's kind of a good dude, and Daredevil's kind of a broken kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I can see that as a really good contrast.
Absolutely, because he's been through like a lot of trash. Like
Yeah.
drunk
So-
father, his mother left him because of postpartum depression.
Yep.
He's like, I can't do this. And just
So Spider-Man's ultimately good for him.
Yeah.
In like
Yeah.
on like a character development.
they're
way.
both equally tragic characters, but you know, Spider-Man handles it better
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he's got like a support group, and Daredevil's just like, I don't need friends.
It's probably
Like, emotion
also
is weak.
easier for him because he can see. I mean, just saying.
Daredevil
Daredevil-
can't see his problems.
Well, I mean, I can imagine that being kind of a difficult thing to deal with.
Well, naturally, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
In general, he just has more to deal with and more
Yeah.
weighing him down.
And also, Daredevil has a lot more like mistake lovers in the past. Like,
Oh yeah.
if there's a girl who dates him, odds are they're either going to die or something tragic going to have bad happen.
Yep.
Because like we talked about that last week, like we
Yeah.
talked about the problem with like romances in comics a lot, but
But yeah.
huzzah!
They just need to keep on, just pooping all over Daredevil. Like they.
Really,
No, Charlie, the writers.
I'm not going to read this. That's even worse.
The writers.
Okay, then.
So you're in the philosophy
censored
that
myself, that
Daredevil
didn't work.
needs to keep having bad things happen to him.
I'm in the philosophy that in order to create a good and engaging narrative, comic book heroes are going to always consistently have bad things happen to them. So they're always going to be tragic characters, and some just more than others, and some just handle it differently than others. Daredevil seems to be one that is consistently, pooped on a little bit more than other comic book heroes. He's one of the more tragic ones.
Because he gets pooped on every 2 seconds.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
That was Mark
It's like a
Miller's,
lot of
Frank Miller's philosophy that like Daredevil can't be a happy character because that's just how it is. You can't have an interesting Daredevil when he's happy. So keep hitting him with the buses and stuff, like
I mean, the entire Born Again graphic novel.
Absolutely, it's one big tragic.
Yeah.
So what happened in Born Again? Yeah, you didn't read it. Was like, so Kingpin finds out that Matt Murdock's Daredevil.
And he finds out from Karen Page.
Yeah, because she needed a high. And it's like, I'll give you his information for some drugs.
Yep.
What a good person. What a good girlfriend. I don't know. Not important.
Ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend. Not by the
Yeah,
end,
that
though.
would probably not work
Yeah.
out after that.
So like he gets disbarred because of Kingpin. He gets his apartment foreclosed because he keeps like getting rid of the checks.
And then I think he goes to like the gym he always is at, but then
And
he gets
blows
like
it
blown
up.
up. Yeah.
Really kind of like drags him through the gutter, like, and tries to kill him a bunch of times.
At
and
one
just-
point, he gets in a taxi, and the taxi driver just straight up drives into the river.
and dies
Yeah.
because Kingpin paid him.
Big oof.
I don't know. It's wild.
Yep.
It's just
Wow.
basically a big whole thing of Daredevil losing his mind and like getting depressed and stuff. And
But
he
he
goes
finds
to
out who his mom is, though.
exactly,
So, like,
but he goes to confront Kingpin and he gets his butt beaten.
it's a bad time.
Like, what?
I didn't say anything.
I don't know. It's all good.
I was thinking about how I'm surprised that Kingpin won, considering it seemed pretty
Kingpin's
clear
a big dude, though.
He is.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's well established that he's fairly strong and he knows how to fight. Because
Why do you think he kills so many people?
Yeah, I think part of the thing is that it seems like depending upon the incarnation of Kingpin, there's like varying levels of how well he can fight. Because sometimes he just kind of like randomly throws punches places and just puts all of his weight into everything, and it's not like super,
Well, when you hit like a bus, you need him that many times.
Yeah, but like other times, it's like it really depends upon whether the comic book writers want his punches to land or not.
I mean, that's
like
if they
just
want
how
the
you
villain
win.
to win the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like his entire fighting style is just I'm gonna like, I don't know how to describe it. He's like a heavyweight. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he is a big boy.
If you look at Into the Spider-Verse, he's a huge boy.
Oh my gosh.
He's a square.
Oh my gosh. He is a thick boy. But no, yeah, it's
chunk of meat right there.
Yeah. But no, I'm just saying that depending upon what the writers want, it really just depends upon how often they let his punches land. And I don't really think he's got like a ton of skill in the way of fighting as much as he does just have a lot of weight that he puts behind his fighting, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lifts and he likes more on his strength and more as skill, I feel like. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like he does have a little bit of fighting skill, though. You
yeah,
don't get
but
that rich on taking at least one self-defense class,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he can just use, like, all his goonies and stuff to, like...
Absolutely, because that's one of the big things that not Daredevil, Kingpin has a big, like, hierarchy of, assassin stuff he uses.
He uses his wealth as a weapon, and that's probably his superpower.
Absolutely.
He's
like,
basically Batman.
He's basically untouchable, because, like, it's very rare that Daredevil actually, like, takes down Kingpin, honestly.
Yeah, and he can just take a lot of punches. He can take a lot of punches. He's just like I said, a thick boy. And I think in order to beat Kingpin, you just have to kind of outmaneuver him as much as possible until you wear him down.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what happened in the movie.
Or just like, burst open a water vein and just you can see things better now.
Which was
like in the movie.
Which was kind of a
I
cool
like
little
angsty
turnaround.
water.
Angsty water.
And then Daredevil's like, I'm not one of the bad guys. I'm not gonna kill you.
I'm not the bad guy.
Yeah. That's like the edgiest, like most stereotypical superhero thing I've ever seen, but I think it.
They do it like all the time, though.
Yeah, but it was like
different. So you do it all the time?
No,
You
they
do
do.
it.
I'm like,
Yeah.
little kids, I'm not the
You're
bad
just,
guy.
like, standing over someone you're about to kill, and you're like, I'm not the bad guy.
I do it every day.
Wow.
You found my secret.
Oh my
Very.
God. Victoria, no.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not the bad guy. But honestly, it's a very stark difference because Daredevil is honestly a character that has this philosophy challenged a lot because he's like Batman. He's like, I don't want to kill, but once things start going bad, he kind of starts to question that a lot.
But
like,
at the beginning, wasn't he kind of okay with killing people?
in the movie, yes.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure about that because Marvel doesn't do that very often.
Well, it's
No, it
also
doesn't a lot.
angsty 2000s.
It's called Punisher and Moon Knight.
And like, have you seen the Avengers? Captain America kills a lot of people.
Yeah, he's a soldier.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thor was kind of cool with it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those more Daredevil. It's interesting because him and
It
Punisher
depends on the
complement
era.
each other very well.
Yeah, because in the TV show, Daredevil's like, hey, Punisher, don't kill people. And then
How
he's
about
like,
I
hey.
do? Bang! No. It's like him and Elektra. Elektra, don't kill people. Stab. Oops. Elektra, no.
He's like, I can't help it. Whoops-a-daisy.
How it goes. But yeah.
I don't know.
Because in Born Again, he said he's going to kill a Kingpin, but he can't go through
Mm-hmm.
with it. And it's just
He
one of
can't go
those
through
things.
with it a lot. Like,
Yeah.
that happens in the movie, in the TV show, in the comics, like 20 times.
Which is interesting because it's just how he is. Like,
Yeah.
he's a devout Catholic, and it's kind of plays with this whole like religion thing, like penance, and y'all are really quiet. And please
Sorry,
start saying
I'm
things.
just
I'm rambling.
I'm thinking about Daredevil deeply.
Voice what you're thinking.
Yeah, what you think about it?
I think I disagree with the whole thing of Marvel, being okay with killing people all the time, because even though there are characters that Marvel has that are okay with killing people, they always make a very clear distinction, and they always show people who are not okay with killing people as like in the moral high ground.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
that's they showed Daredevil. They didn't really show him as not in the moral high ground when he was okay with killing people. At least in the movie.
Well, also in the comics, there's this thing called the Comic Code Authority, so they kind of had to adhere to it, so they had to make sure their characters became better people. So if they did anything bad, they had to be like, hey, this was extra bad, and then they had to make them seem even better.
Then Punisher came around.
Yeah, and then they didn't care about the Comic Code Authority.
It was in the 80s that it stopped being a thing, and I think...
Around that time, between the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
It's kind of rough. I'm not confident where it is, but it's around that time where the Comic Code Authority started going out of style, because got more edgy characters like Punisher started being more of a thing.
Also, just the culture in general didn't really care as much.
Yeah.
I think, though, that it sounds to me like, from what you guys are saying, that Daredevil was headed that direction a little bit earlier than some of the other comics, because the writer was kind of pushing
Frank
more
Miller.
towards more
Yes, Frank Miller
tragic,
definitely
edgy.
pushed the envelope a lot in those comics, because he tackled drugs and pornography and things like that, both through Karen Page. But
and it sounds like he was more kind of at the forefront of making that change that ended up happening a little bit.
He also introduced Elektra, which Elektra brought a lot of darkness to his whole character.
Yeah.
Because Elektra wanted him to be like her, and she's crazy psycho killer.
I love Elektra. She's a great character.
Oh my god.
Can't wake up.
Save me.
Can we No.
Come on, name
I hate you both.
See, I will never not be able to associate Elektra now with that song because of that montage. Oh my gosh. That was amazing.
I think the two characters have an interesting dynamic, though, Daredevil and Elektra, because it's unrequited love, but also they're two extreme opposing philosophies.
Like frenemies.
They're never going to be together. It's guaranteed. But
man, they didn't even show that in the movie at all.
What?
I know I keep on bringing back the movie, but it's what I know mostly.
Yeah, thanks, Levi.
I'm
you really
sorry.
researched this topic.
It was a rough week. Okay. But I had fun with the movie. I had so much fun. But no, it seemed like they were just going to be together,
Yeah, but the movie also doesn't really do a good job with its characters, honestly.
They don't do a lot of origins.
Elektra is kind of butchered in that movie.
Yeah.
Elektra's a great assassin. One of her whole things was that she was one of the best assassins Kingpin had.
Yeah.
Which made the character Bullseye, you know what Bullseye is.
Yeah.
Bullseye psycho crazy and was like, I want to be the best assassin. I'm just going to kill Elektra with her own sight. And it was a really important scene because it was crazy because at that point Daredevil and Elektra were still very much in love, and she died in Daredevil's arms, which is kind of a sweet scene. But after she came back, she wasn't the same person.
Yeah.
But the fact that they brought him back really made Frank Miller mad, actually.
Oh yeah, he didn't want them to use his character again.
No, he's very protective of his characters. He's like, I made this for a reason, and you kind of just pooped on it.
Yeah, he wrote a whole little mini series. It's called Daredevil: The Man Without Fear, and it looks in deep of the origins. Mm-hmm. And he put Elektra in there, and he made sure that everybody would know exactly what he wanted Elektra to be. He made sure that she was super cray cray even before her dad died, or she died and all that. So
yeah,
she's not a fun person.
So
she's a great character, though.
Bullseye question.
Yes.
Does he have powers, or is he just really good?
We don't know. They never really explain it. Sometimes he's kind of a mutant.
It depends
Sometimes
on the comics, honestly.
Now, in the comics, though, he does have adamantium put on his bones and stuff, like Wolverine.
Yeah, because at one point he falls and has a spine.
Daredevil throws him off a roof and he breaks his entire body.
Yeah.
So
that's in Frank Miller's.
They do link the X-Men and the Daredevil universe.
It's the Marvel universe.
Yeah, it's connected.
They're all chilling out together.
They kind of separate X-Men and I don't know.
Well, in the comics they do a better job of keeping it all together because in movies it's a big old mess.
Yeah.
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 But I think that because of the movies, especially in recent comics, they kind of, just a little bit more separate.
Well, also the the MCU didn't have the X-Men when they started. They didn't have the rights to it, so they couldn't involve.
Yeah.
Well, I think they do now, actually.
But they're not in the movies.
Well, yeah. They do have the rights to it technically, but only because Disney.
Yeah,
bought
Disney
out,
just bought.
Yeah, so it's not
they can't really connect it right now.
Yeah, it would be impossible. But I think that because they were trying to link, Charlie, back me up here. They were trying to kind of make
if you're right.
consistency between the movies and the comics to some degree. When
Yes.
they started doing that.
They're trying to more recently make the comics reflect the movies.
Yeah.
Because the movies are the reasons that Marvel's still kind of pulling
Yeah.
in readers.
The comics doesn't really make that much money for them anymore, honestly.
Yeah, the comic book industry is honestly a dying breed. It's really sad. Comic shops are closing. It's a problem with Marvel. We'll talk about it one day.
Yeah.
Because recently,
we keep
actually,
bringing it up.
unrelated, DC made a big news this week that they're cutting back how many comics they're releasing, like new titles, to like
What?
it's going from 52 to like 32 because it's just
That's
too
like-
many comics. Because people can only afford so many comics.
So
Like,
the new 52.
New 52 has been dead for a while,
I
but
don't know.
it's just
DC.
it's all good. Yeah.
That's not good. I don't like that.
Yeah. My comic shop's still open though, for now. Hopefully.
But no, my greater point is just that I think that because the MCU can't combine the X-Men and the Avengers, I think that the comics are going to continually kind of separate them slowly
Well, the
but surely.
comics still
Because
No, they're still
really-
together in the comics
Yeah.
fairly well. For a while, they were kind of separating the two because they didn't have the rights, and they're kind of like, let's just get rid of the X-Men and replace them with the Inhumans, which nobody thought was a good idea.
It was a horrible idea.
Because no one likes Inhumans.
The X-Men go through a rough
I've
time,
never
though, so
heard
they
of-
can't always involve
I've
them.
never heard. I mean, I don't read any particular comic like religiously.
Yeah.
Besides maybe Moon Knight now, but I've never heard of like a blatant comic where they like are like, oh, we're doing X-Men and Avengers, like that was new.
What?
Hmm?
That makes sense to me. Can you say it again?
I've never heard of a comic that blatantly does X-Men.
They do it
and
all the
Avengers
time.
New.
There
That's
was
new.
a big event, like about maybe 2 or 3 years before
It was like Civil War 2. They had everybody all
Civil War
together.
2.
They
They had
did?
X-Men versus
Yeah.
Avengers. They had the Uncanny Avengers, which was
I think
X-Men
you just don't
characters.
keep up
never
with the
hear-
comics.
I feel like
Why
you don't
have
read
I
that many
never
comics.
Yeah, I think you just don't
heard
keep
of
up to date
this?
with the comic news.
They
I
cross
mean-
over a lot.
I
Yeah.
guess not, but you know.
There's a entire Infinity Warps event that was just happening where
Yeah.
there's those characters crossing over with each other and Gamora and stuff. Moon Knight was
There's
there a little
too
bit.
much to keep track of.
Yeah,
guys.
that's
That's the problem with Marvel, honestly.
Yeah.
There's too much to keep track, and that's honestly why comics kind of failing. But more on that in our problem with Marvel Comics episode coming up in
Yeah.
about 1 month.
Probably should get back to Daredevil.
Probably get back to Daredevil.
All right, his tragic lovers. Ooh, he's
Hit
had a
him, Mary.
lot.
Go with it.
Okay,
Lead us
Karen
away.
Page. So he told Karen Page that he was Daredevil, like really early on in the comics,
Mhm.
and she was like, "Uh-oh, I'm not cool with that," and then she left. Yeah,
And then
that
bad
was
things
sad.
happen.
Yeah, she wanted to become an actress, and then she showed up again in Born Again and was like, "Hey, I do porn now."
It's rough.
Yeah, it wasn't cool.
Kind of a slippery slope.
Then there was the whole Elektra thing. They met in college, college sweethearts, and then she went a little cray-cray, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not
Crazy.
a fan."
I'm psycho crazy.
Then, she showed up again, and he was like, "Elektra," and she was like, "Daredevil."
And then stab.
Yeah, it
She's
wasn't
dead.
good.
And then she came back, and then it's just she's all over the place now. Which a lot of her runs actually, a lot of her solo runs, her Elektra Marvel Knights run is really good.
Yeah.
Or her new Marvel Now run, awesome. Grand Rising for Marvel Now is awesome, but yeah, Elektra, cool character. Carry on.
I know nothing about Echo.
Echo, ooh, I love Echo.
I
He's one of my
recognize
favorites.
Echo. Isn't Echo in other comics too?
Yes, so I gave you a comic from Echo. She was in Daredevil. She was in Moon Knight, a Moon Knight comic for a bit, written by Brian
That.
Michael Bendis.
That
Did you read that one?
I think I did.
You read the Brian Michael Bendis one where he's in L.A.?
I think maybe.
Yes, I love that one.
Maybe.
A lot of people hate that Moon Knight run because it's completely different, but I
I
love
read
it. 'cause
part of
it's,
it.
him and Echo, because I love Echo. She's a cool character. She's a Native American. She's deaf, but her whole thing is like she can like memorize movements and like
I
recreate
think we
them.
also talked about it on the show at one point.
Yes, and she's also an Avenger. At
Oh,
one point,
lit.
she was a new Avenger, then everyone forgot about her.
Yeah, that's also where I remember it from now.
She's a great character. She got killed though in a Moon Knight
Yeah,
comic.
big
Spoiler
oof.
alert for the end of that run.
Yeah,
I think we also. I think you mentioned that before. as
But
well.
they brought her back to life. They didn't really
Ooh.
explain it. So Brian Michael Bendis is the one who killed her, and then a few years later, he was writing the Defenders, and she popped back up, and they were like, "How is she alive?" And he's like, "No comment,"
It's like
because
mystery.
Brian Michael
comic
Bendis
ways.
as a writer doesn't care about continuity. He's
Fun.
just like, let's go with it. But yeah, and then, so yeah, it's a cool character. They stopped dating because angst. Yeah.
Reasons.
And then there's Typhoid Mary, just the villain.
She was a big oof.
There's Assassin, and then he's like, "I love you," and she's like, "I'm crazy."
Well, he started dating her while he was still dating Karen Page, so it was like affair.
There's a lot.
And
Of,
Karen Page was like,
Night Murdoch's too confident in himself.
Yeah. And then Typhoid Mary became, a villain person. He was
Psycho
like,
crazy.
there's a lot of Batmanisms in his love affairs. To be honest.
Well, Batman has so much continuity. There's hardly a comic that is not a Batmanism.
Yeah, Batman's been around so long. They basically done everything they could with him.
They did everything. He did everything first, but a lot of his love affairs are with villains. So you know,
like you, yeah.
That I think that maybe I actually think now, just from listening to you guys, because I'm the most out of my element here with this character.
Yeah. Love you.
And y'all keep reminding me of that. I'm trying, but that I almost feel like more than Moon Knight, Daredevil is kind of most similar to Batman in out of a lot of the characters in the MC.
I think they're extremely different because they're two different aspects. Well,
I don't know.
Daredevil was born rich, and he's fighting for vengeance for his family's murder. Daredevil was from the
Daredevil was born rich.
Batman was born rich.
I was gonna say Daredevil was
Daredevil
born
from
rich.
the slums.
I know this.
He's fighting for a different reason. I think he's fighting more for what's right. I feel like just to stop the crime that corrupted his family, like his father. It's complicated.
It seems to me like there's a lot of similarities.
And a lot less gadgets, because there's not a Daredevil mobile, because Daredevil can't drive.
Yeah, Daredevil just has his blind man stick.
Having gadgets is not a character trait. I'm just saying, I just think that because of the tragedy in their lives...
I mean, lots of superheroes have big tragedies.
Because you're in the opinion that...
And the way that they present the characters, it seems like there's kind of a connection there. You know what I me?
Yeah, there's kind of parallels, but
it's not.
They're still very different characters.
They're different, but there's similarities.
I feel like Danny Rand is more similar to Batman.
Danny Rand?
He's Iron Fist.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was born rich, and then his family died on a plane crash, and then he was in the Himalayas.
He became the protector of the dimension of Kunlun. Came to Iron Fist.
Then he came back to New York because
He's like, let's kick butt.
He was just tired.
That show wasn't good. I'm sorry.
It was horrible.
I didn't like that
That's
show.
why they canceled it.
Yeah. After 2 seasons.
Yeah. And they did cancel all of them, though. So.
It's Jessica Jones got canceled, right?
Jessica Jones and The Punisher both just got canceled. It's a sad day for
I'm not happy with
Netflix
that.
Marvel.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
But I mean, also, a lot of the Netflix shows are no longer going to be a thing for Marvel.
Well, all
and
of their...
No, they're all gone.
Yeah, they're all gone.
They're all gone now?
They're all gone.
All of them.
Okay. I thought there were still a few. Because I know they were... Last time I checked, they were backing out because of the whole Disney... What's it called?
Disney Plus, whatever
Disney
it is.
Plus.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that, because I think that it's not going to work.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you agree with it. They're still going to do it.
I know, but it's not going to work. Because I think that they're just Are they going to pull...
DC's one's working right now.
Are they going to pull, all of the Disney movies off of Netflix?
If they do that, they'd have to do it slowly, though, because Netflix has contracts with them.
Yeah.
It's eventually, probably.
Yeah, there's not going to be, the next Infinity War, I think, on there next time, where there's not going to be Captain Marvel.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be nothing new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder if there's any hope. I know that they canceled the Daredevil show on Netflix, but they might bring it back on Disney Plus eventually.
Well, yeah, they haven't for sure took those characters out of the MCU altogether. They're just not having their own show anymore. All of those actors, I think, still have contracts with Marvel.
I mean, yeah.
So, they can bring them back if they want.
And they have
storyboards
for season
at this point,
4,
actually,
I believe, going right now.
At this point, actually, they have even more options because they could put them not in the show. They could put them in actually the movies.
Well,
they could
I think
put them anywhere.
Part of the reason too is there's so much happening with the movies right now. They want to be able to connect it to the TV shows more, and they can't do that if they have a billion things happening in the TV shows. So they have to just kind of pause that. Yeah.
I think that isn't this next movie gonna be one that wraps up a bunch of stuff though?
Captain Marvel comes out next, and then there's
no.
2 weeks ago, we're gonna go see it.
Movie. The next Avengers movie is
the next Avenger movie is supposed to wrap up a lot of the basic Avengers, like Captain America, Iron Man, those dudes. They're supposed to be sort of done with that movie.
Yeah,
their contracts are running out.
Oh, they are. That's exactly
literally that's the reason
legit. Wow, Levi.
Wow, that's in the news.
Welcome to the news. Welcome to the modern world.
But that
got
means
it caught up.
That means that they can bring in some of these other characters, and maybe those ones will be more popular.
Well, yeah, they can't have every single character at the same time in there because that would just blow your mind.
But
I don't know if I would
could be really good because it could be good for these more what I would consider to the people who don't watch it kind of side characters. I mean, Daredevil isn't a side character, but I think people think of him as one if they aren't familiar with him. They can make those people more main characters. That said, I feel like Daredevil would totally lose against most of the Avengers villains because he's just
punch, kick, and flip.
Yeah, he's like
unless there's a hallway and everything.
Yeah, he is great in
if
hallways.
It's Thanos and Daredevil in the hallway. It's Daredevil
if there's
every
doors
single time.
you can kick down, he's good to go.
Get me in the hallway. I'll win the fight any day.
He's like, get Thanos in the hallway. I got this.
You're gonna have to explain that one. I don't understand.
Okay, so in every
is
season,
it just like because he can hear?
I'm trying to explain it.
No.
In every single Daredevil season, there's a hallway fight scene. It's one of the most iconic things.
Wait, did they do it in season 2?
Yes, there was one in season. They have 2 in season 2. It was like a longer hallway. He had a stairwell too.
I don't
and
remember
then Punisher
that.
had a hallway fight scene that season.
See, I remember the one from season 1 because it was like so iconic, and then the one from season 3 because he was just in a jail and it was like amazing.
Yeah. So how it works is every single season of Daredevil, they had a hallway fight scene. It's all one big one take with practical stunts and stuff like that. It looks amazing.
My goodness,
it's
awesome
awesome.
every single time.
Awesome.
And Daredevil like gets his butt kicked out of him, but he also kicks everyone else's butt. And
then
it's beautiful.
then at the end it's just him ominously walking down a hallway, super
Like,
bloody, with everybody like on the floor behind him.
Always like beating him like, I'm out of shape. How many wrists are broken? At least 10.
Okay.
It's great.
So question.
Yes.
How I've seen how the comics kind of present Daredevil, because I did read a little bit of the comic, and I've seen how the movie presents Daredevil. So what are the differences between the movie, the comics, and the show?
Oh, many.
So
is what I
movie is
wanna know.
edgy and gross and bad
Don't talk about
conversation.
it. Just a bad movie. Don't talk
It's
about
amazing. Watch it.
it. Please don't.
The TV show and the comics, I feel like, are very similar. It really depends on who's writing the comic.
Well, the TV show does really good at just adapting their stories from the comics. Because, like, season 3 was based really just off of Born Again.
Born Again. Mine's the whole, like,
then,
Vietnam nuke guy.
Yeah. That was just a weird thing that happened. And then season 1 was kind of based off the Man Without Fear series.
Yeah.
So, like, that was fun. And then season 2, they were just doing some fun stuff. They actually
Love
based...
season 2.
Yeah.
So
they based, like, one whole scene just from a comic
So
book.
season 1 and 3 are, like, separate runs and, like,
They're connected.
But they're, like,
They're based off of different parts of the comics. Cause season 1 was based off of the Man Without Fear series, which that was just like an origin
series,
comic.
Like, Yeah. But season 2 is like a hodgepodge of...
Yeah,
season 2 was like introducing the Punisher and Elektra.
Yeah, season 2 was just like focus on other characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of based off the whole Elektra run in Daredevil.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the tone of the show? Like,
it's pretty gritty.
Dark, but kind of a hint of a speck of hope in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of hope in there because Foggy and Karen Page are like, woo.
Yeah, we're having fun. Our own adventures. Things are going bad.
Yeah.
Does he sleep in an isolation chamber?
No.
He sleeps on a bed like a
can't
normal
watch it.
human.
He has a great apartment, and it's like next to a big bright sign, but it doesn't bother him because he's blind.
Yeah.
It's just like ingenious.
Yeah.
And it's also a lot of respect to people who are blind, like he.
Yeah.
Charlie Cox did a great.
The show actually gave Charlie Cox. Well, somebody gave him an award for
the National Blind Association.
Yeah. Because he did such a good job with it. They did a really good job with showing his powers from his blindness. One thing, this is my rant about the TV show.
Hit it.
So when they talk about how he has radar vision, for some reason they're like, I see everything on fire. That is not at all. That is poop.
It was a creative choice.
It was a horrible choice.
I'm sorry, Mary.
It was horrible.
Okay.
Yeah, he was talking to Claire in his kitchen, and he was like, I see everything on fire. And she was like, really? And then it was cut to a scene where everything's like blue and like fiery looking. That is not how radar vision works.
They never show it ever again.
Whatsoever, because they knew it was horrible.
Yeah.
They knew that it was bad, and they felt bad about themselves.
It's better than epilepsy. I mean, let's be honest. Because
I feel like
that in the movie, it was like so hard to watch. I literally
it was
felt
like a PlayStation cutscene.
I felt like I was gonna get sick watching it because it kept on like flashing.
They didn't
in my
do it
face.
very well in that.
Yeah,
I don't know
it was
why.
bad.
I don't know why it was flashing. He can't see light.
Yeah, it was so strange. It didn't make any sense.
When they show his radar vision in the comics, it's actually really cool because it shows it like how radar vision actually would, like lines outlining the dimensions of everything, and it's like really cool in the comics. And then they poop on it in shows and movies, and I hate it.
I don't know. It's all good.
I am very passionate about that.
It's a good. Need to watch the TV show, Levi.
Please
if
watch
you want a good version,
I
of Daredevil,
really wanted to. I spent like hours of my life trying to find it.
Just get Netflix.
It's on Netflix. You have a Netflix.
I know, but at the time that I was trying to find it, my parents were watching something on Netflix, so I couldn't watch
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Make your own Netflix account for a month with a free account. There you go. Good job.
Just binge it.
Yeah.
Don't watch the other series.
It is my plan to binge it though, because I'm very interested in the character. But like, I was trying.
So Daredevils. Great character.
He's
Loves him.
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
You guys seem passionate about him.
I'm wearing my Daredevil shirt today. Like, I love him.
She's an expert. I studied up on this. It's all good.
Yeah.
He's just a really good. He has a big fan following, and I feel like one of the things that makes him so popular is how he's like always kind of a tragic character. Also, kind of a side note, Daredevil has had his identity revealed to the public like at least 6 times.
Literally, it's
he's
the
worst
weirdest thing.
at keeping his identity.
He had to move to San Francisco because he was like, "Whoops, they know." And then at one point, like some other character literally erases the mind of everybody who knew he was Daredevil so that they wouldn't know anymore. And it was like,
Dr.
I'm
Strange.
It's
good.
just an excuse to like restart things.
It literally just
because
was.
Bendis was like, "Let's up the ante." Identity, never knows him. It's all good.
Yeah. And then at one point they just are like solid, like, yeah, everybody knows, and then him and Foggy have to like practice law, but like not really practice it, and it's just weird.
Wait, and you said it was Doctor Strange that did that?
I think it was Doctor Strange.
Because
It
I
was
feel like
someone.
everything that's unexplained in the Marvel universe
Like
is probably
magic.
Doctor Strange. Just saying.
I mean, you're
Just
not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just restart.
Yeah. Which is, I think, what's going to happen with the whole Thanos thing. It's just going to be Doctor Strange pulling people from a different universe.
Doctor Strange is gone.
Yeah, but there
Captain
are other
Marvel's
Doctor Stranges that aren't gone.
Captain Marvel's gonna save the day, obviously.
I think that there's going to be another Doctor Strange from another universe.
You
that's gonna
just really
come in.
like Doctor
I
Strange.
think
No,
they're
I
gonna,
just think that's the
listen,
way
I think
it
Ant-Man
happens.
is going to use the quantum realm for the time
Yes,
travel through
that.
time, and they're going to stop Thanos by gathering other Infinity Stones from across time and build their own Infinity Gauntlet, and then fight him like that.
See, is
And
that
then
from the
Captain
new,
Captain America's
is that
going
from
to
the
pick
new
up the
Ant-Man
hammer.
movie? Or is this like something from
The new
comic?
Ant-Man movie that goes to
Okay,
quantum
I haven't
realm.
seen that one yet. So I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing.
The whole quantum realm thing that happened.
Quantum realm.
Yeah.
If you stick a sciencey word in front of a noun,
They had so
it
many.
sounds right.
They had so many
Flux
outs though.
capacitor.
They see
Flux
they didn't even
capacitor.
need that though. They could have just used Doctor Strange from another dimension.
Okay, you gotta stop relying on Doctor Strange.
No, this is something.
You're the
that
one who
comic books-
hates alternate dimensions.
I know,
Yeah.
but that's why that's part of the reason why I hate it. I was just like, they're definitely gonna do this because that's what every like comic book ever and every TV show ever that has like multiple dimensions and crap like that does that. Sorry, all the time. Did you just mute me?
Well, Mary, let's keep going.
Yeah, Daredevil, fun times. We don't
Right
like
on.
Doctor Strange.
It has nothing. I'm not even that big of a fan of Doctor Strange. It's just whenever shows have multiple universes, there's never any consequence because there's always another version of the same
That's
character.
literally the reason why they started alternate universes.
I know. See? Thank you. There.
That's not a bad thing, though. It's just because they have so many characters, they have to keep them lined up somehow. I reject your hatred.
I think it's.
I'm in the opinion
bad
that Marvel
thing.
needs a reboot, and we'll leave it at that.
Agreed.
They need like a new 52 DC style reboot. All the characters, blank slate, brand new stuff happening,
Exactly.
and just roll with it.
And no alternate universes. Just
Alternate
let
universes are the
consequences
best.
occur to characters.
Well, they could just
If a
start an
character
alternate
dies,
universe.
it dies.
like the Ultimate Universe, but bring it back. But not
Wait, what?
horrible.
No.
What?
With the Ultimate Universe?
It's
What is
impossible
that?
to.
Hey. Here, Patrick, you be on now. So yeah.
We have a new person now. No, Levi.
Okay,
Bring me
so,
back.
The Ultimate Universe was a thing Marvel did in the early 2000s. So Brian Michael Bendis, a big comic writer, rebooted Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe.
Ooh,
It was a
fancy.
Spider-Man for a new era. He spent the whole week walking around the high school, listening to new kids lingo and stuff, and then made a new comic as it's more in the now. And
It was
the
the
Marvel,
hip kind of
Yeah, it
thing.
was modern Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and it was great. People loved it. It was one of the best Spider-Man runs ever.
Nice.
But then other writers were like, let's do more things. Let's do the Ultimates, the Ultimate versions of Avengers. Let's do Ultimate X-Men. Let's do Ultimate Daredevil. But but they took as realistic as extremely edgy as popular as
Edgy.
possible.
And we've talked about this several times on
Scarlet
the
Witch
show.
and Quicksilver an incest relationship. Let's have the
that
Blob
was just a horrible
eat
idea
the
of
Wasp.
them.
Let's
What?
have
That happened?
he ate the Wasp on panel.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Let's have just a bunch of bad things happen. Let's have Ant-Man beat the Wasp to death.
So yeah, they went to extreme.
They went to
edge.
extremes, and it was stupid.
Well, it was the early 2000s.
And then
that
they
makes
used
sense.
it, and then they started using it as an excuse to bring back long dead characters and to do
What?
things like that.
Wait,
What?
who?
That they do that all the time.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's just because they like their characters. And they're like, let's bring them back.
However, they did have the balls to kill Spider-Man in that universe and replace him with Miles Morales.
Okay, the Spider-Man universe,
Yeah,
though, there's so many
replace
good
it.
Spider-Mans.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about that one episode. It was fun. But anyway, we gotta wrap it up here soon because
Oh.
we're running low on time. Sorry,
Sad
guys.
day.
So before we go off, let me go to my recommended media for Daredevil. We have Daredevil, Born Again, 1986 by Frank Miller. Check it out. Daredevil, Guardian Devil, 1988 to 1989. 1998 to 1999 by Kevin Smith, great writer, great movie maker, love him. And Daredevil from 2001-2005 by Brian Michael Bendis himself. And of course, the Daredevil TV show.
And on the do not watch or ever read list
watch,
is the movie.
Watch the movie.
No.
Because it's a so bad it's good movie. Watch it. It's amazing.
Honestly, I have fond memories of the Daredevil movie.
It's
I watched
so
it a lot
fun.
as a kid.
Okay, I watched part of it when I was a kid, and then I watched the full thing like this week, and it scarred me.
If you can't watch a fight like training montage to wake me up inside,
or Daredevil kicking butt to Nickelback, with, like
if
jump
you
cuts.
can't watch that and love it, you have no soul.
If you're into edgy 2000s, then yes, please watch it all the time.
Just a guy looking up at the rafters. Get a little of this. What do you want? Justice. Takes him out of the
That was
Billy
the
Club.
weirdest part. Like, why was he hiding in the pillars of the ceiling if they could see him? What was the point of that?
I don't know. It's dumb.
Edge,
anyway,
pure edge. It's great.
Any last minute comments, guys, by Daredevil? Levi, go first.
I'm sorry that I don't know anything about this character.
Shame Levi on the Twitter.
We're gonna shun him.